Andre 3000. So since Outkast released Idlewild back in, what was that? 07, 08?
Was that late?
Had to be 08. He's pretty much been a recluse, and he's popped up on some tracks, especially more recently. He was on Life of Pablo. He was on didn't he do a track with The Weeknd, or two for The Weeknd on his album
I don't know about The Weeknd. He was with Frank Ocean on Channel Orange.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, nice verse on with Rick Ross on God Forgives I Don't, 16. That was pretty good.
Also, to rewind a little bit,
all over the place.
He barely was on the Life of Pablo. I mean, what, he maybe said one word?
Yeah, it was background vocals, more or less.
But
and Idlewild was 06.
Oh, 06. Okay. But I mean, he comes out with this interview recently. I think it was this past week. And
yeah, it was with like GQ, I think.
Yep. And he
GQ style
had some pretty interesting quotes in there. I mean, there's a lot to sift through. What stood out to you about the interview, or what was most interesting?
Yeah, I mean, some of the pull quotes were like, "Oh, he doesn't have the pulse anymore," or "He's totally fine with not releasing another album." But I think what kind of struck a chord with me is that he didn't think he had it in him to keep up with all the younger people in rap, and we've always said that rap's a young man's game, and to stay relevant as you're older, you have to kind of evolve. That's why we applaud Jay-Z's 444 this year, because it's a great body of work from somebody in their late 40s. All of it makes sense, and it's also really good. But someone like Andre, I mean, maybe he's just worried about not delivering on the hype, because the hype is enormous and probably too tremendous to effectively satisfy, similar to Jay Electronica never releasing an album. So maybe he'd just rather. But I mean, if anyone was gonna come back as an older fellow, you'd think he could do it, because every time he's popped up, throughout the years as a solo feature or whatever, it's been good. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's just disappointing, because hip hop is a relatively new genre, and we haven't seen many older people keep going into their 40s besides the legends. But again, like the next generation, maybe that can change. I mean, I'd also be curious to see who he thinks he's really competing with. I mean, yeah, you're not going to beat Drake and Kendrick and Cole on the charts, but I mean, are you scared of them, or are you scared of like Lil Pump? Like I'm right. Not. You're not going to get the 17-year-olds anyway, so don't worry about them. I don't know.
He talked in this about how he had some sort of social disorder, and had been receiving like some sort of mental health treatment for it, like very vaguely touched on that. It seems like he also really carries a lot of self-doubt. I mean, he talked about how he always thought Big Boy was a better rapper than him, had more confidence, how he thought Big Boy was smarter than him. He never really considered himself a good rapper or producer or songwriter. Meanwhile, I mean, I think anyone that followed Outkast always appreciated Three Stacks for being a very unique lyricist and dropping some really awesome bars. So the view he has of himself is definitely skewed, and I think that affects his confidence in doing a solo project, which he talks about wanting to do just for his own satisfaction, but feeling like, I don't know, I'm just going to fool around in my house and record saxophone and guitar and drums and see what makes me feel good. And so it sounds like he has a lot of stuff he's working through, which it's too bad, because he is such a unique talent. And I really do think if he were to drop an album, I mean, not only would everybody listen, I think he could do it really well. But
yeah, I mean, if he did a traditional album rollout, like do what Taylor Swift's doing, do everything by the book, 100% manufactured. Like if you really marketed yourself, you can really make this a big event, similar to how their 20th anniversary tour went really well when they did all those festivals. So they're really popular anyway.
Right.
And he's been an actor. He's done all his other creative stuff. So I can understand, he doesn't want to be he's not really think of himself as a rapper only anymore. Totally get that. But yeah, I mean, this is not like Dre not releasing Detox. Dr. Dre was a producer first. Andre 3000, was a rapper first.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
it's disappointing. I mean, at least Frank Ocean came back. We got someone.
Yeah, it's too bad too, because there's it's been teased that Outkast would release another album called 10 Years the Hard Way. What a fucking great name that is for an album.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I saw Big Boy live at the Meadows, and he was great.
He's always good, man. Always good.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, he had a solo album come out this year, Boomiverse, so it was fine. It wasn't amazing, but I mean, he was a good performer, and he did like Bombs Over Baghdad, Rosa Parks, Miss Jackson. I wish the whole gang was here.
I know. Maybe we'll get that wish. It sounds like they keep toying with this. They came back together for a reunion tour. Maybe we'll get it eventually.